spread at 500 metres is not a bad grouping as far as I'm concerned. Well, hey guys, and welcome again to Into the Night. Now, this afternoon I'm doing another product review on this scope. This is from Vector Optics. They've sent me this. This is the Tauron Gen 2 3 to 40 by 56 with the ED glass, and it's the first focal plane scope. So this is a long range scope. I've never actually done long range shooting before, which I've also always wanted to give it a go. So a scope like this hopefully should make long distance shots fairly easy. So anyway, thanks Vector Optics for sending this out to me. I'll put it on the rifle and I'll show you what comes in the box. If you're wondering why I've got a bandage on my arm, I burnt myself yesterday picking up something too hot. I'd welded accidentally, so anyway, we'll get on to this review and I'll see you on over at the bench. Okay, so here's what all comes with the Vector Optics Tauron Gen 2 5 to 40 by 56 ED first focal plane scope. It's a mouthful of a name, but here's what comes with it. So we'll start off, we've got a bit of a sheet here that gives you a bit of information about the scope, and a bit about the warranty. We've got this other cardboard thing that gives you a bit of the QR code for the reticle manual, and there's the reticle there, the Christmas tree reticle there. So that's the VTA 8mm MRAD reticle. So we've got a VIP warranty card, so it's a lifetime warranty on it, and I believe it's transferable, so if you buy the scope second hand, there you go. Fully transferable, no invoice, no receipt needed, no questions asked. We pay for shipping back to you. So it's a pretty good warranty on it. And you got a bit of a range tool thing there, so you can make the adjustments and stuff on the caps of the scope to set them back to 0. User manual for the scope, a couple of Allen keys to do some other adjustments, little lens cleaning cloth, and some scope caps, and also a set of rings, a 34mm medium profile rings. So that comes standard in the box with the scope. Now they've also actually sent me out these 34mm 20 MOA single piece rings as well. They're X-Acu rings, which I've got mounted up on the scope, and the scope actually also comes with the little sunshade there on the screws on the front, and also the little throw lever on there. Now this scope, that's the zoom thing. It goes from, the power goes from 5 right up to 40, and the zoom ring is actually quite nice and smooth. And there's your diopter, so that's quite nice as well. Moving forward, we got the elevation and windage turrets. Now these do have a 0 stop function as well, so you can turn it back, which I've set there. So you can turn it and turn it back and it stops at 0, like so. Now also around here we've got your focus for your scope, and then also it takes a battery inside here, CR 2032 battery, and then you got your illuminated reticle in the side. So, and between each brightness level is an off position as well, so you don't have to turn it all the way around to off each time. And these turrets caps, you can make adjustment, and then they lock down, and they won't get bumped then accidentally. But they're really nice clicks. with the zero marks there to show you where the zero is. So it's all, this is a MRAD scope, so haven't used too many MRAD scopes before. So for those of you who don't know what a mil, 1 mil is, at 100 meters, 1 mil is 10 centimeters. So this is all in increments of 0.1 of a mil. So 10 clicks is 10 centimeters. So it's one click per centimeter at 100 meters. So just gives you a bit of a reference. Now the rifle I'm going to be shooting with today is the Ruger American Hunter. So it's got the Magpul Hunter stock on it, and the Ruger American chambered in 308. So it's got the nice heavy barrel on it with the muzzle brake on the end there, and yeah, it's actually quite a nice comfortable stock and quite suited for doing longer range shooting. I've got the target out there. I got it zeroed in at 100 meters. I've got my long shot target camera down there from Australian Sporting Agencies. Thanks, Baston, for that. I'm going to just do a 3-shot group at the bottom X on the target, and then I'm going to do, I've got a grid pattern set out here, so I can actually see how well the turrets adjust and actually move. I'll just always aim at the bottom left hand dot, and I'll move it, say, up and then across and then down and then back to 0 again, and see how it actually holds. So put it we go. So 3-shot group. The wind's died off for me, which is good. I think I moved it as a shot. But anyway, it's not a bad little group. I'm only using factory ammo, the ADI Match King stuff. So anyway, I'm going to shove a shot at the bottom left hand dot in the square, and then I'm going to do see how well it tracks with the dials. A little bit to the left, but I think I pulled that a bit. I might have that shot again. Not really happy with that way that one went. Actually find it's the eye relief when it's zoomed right into 40 times, you can see a lot of detail in your target, but I just find back at about between 15 and 20, somewhere in there, is sort of the most comfortable to use in your eye. The eye relief is pretty good. Right out to 5 it is excellent eye relief. But I find just in around about 20, even 20 to 40 is too much. 25 is not too bad. We'll go with that for now. Okay, just slightly higher. It's a bit better. Okay, now I'm going to keep aiming at that same point. What we're going to do is track up. Out there, I'm going to go up 10 clicks. 10. So now it should shoot up in the next dot, even though I'm aiming at the bottom one. Pretty well, almost spot on. Okay, now if I go 2 to the right, ten clicks. Now aim again, same bottom right, the bottom left, sorry. A little bit to the left. I'll just have that shot again just to make sure it wasn't my mistake. Yeah, it's doing me, so it's not too bad, pretty close. Now if I go back down to 0 here, change mags. I'll have a second one of that just to make sure it went a little bit low. It's back in the right height, but it's a little bit right. So now if I wind this one here back to 0, should be back on the 0 mark now. Slightly high and a little bit right, but nearly back just right of where my last 0 mark was. So I'm pretty happy with how that's tracking. Seems to be doing a reasonable job. And mind you, it is only factory ammo, so I can't really expect it to get any better than that. Okay, so here's the group shot at the X. So my first shot was there, second shot, third shot, so it's all about an inch group at 100. I'm happy with that. And then here I pulled that one a bit, so then I had that shot there, moved up. I was aiming here at this dot, I moved it up 10 clicks, still aiming here, the shot there, and then moved it across and that to the right, another 10 clicks, still aiming here, and it shot here. Then I had another second shot and got there, and then I moved it down 10 clicks, still aiming here, and a shot there, then had a second shot and got there, and then moved it back to 0 and aimed here again and shot here. So I'm pretty happy with how that performed. Righto, so I got the 5.5 inch gong that I've made and put it next to this power pole, so it'll be about 280 metres from my shooting platform. And I'm just going to go down here and to my other gong down there. Okay, so here's my bigger gong. The cattle have shifted a little bit. So this is at 500 metres. It's probably about 11 or 12 inch gong actually. Yeah, we'll see if we can aim at the middle of that and see how well it'll group. Okay, so I'm going to try and shoot at my 5-inch gong at 280 metres first, and so to do that I've got to go up to 1.2 on there, and I'll just use the hold for the windage. There's a little bit of a crosswind, so I'm going to have to aim a little bit, probably on the right hand edge of the plate probably. Anyway, let's see how we go. I've got the drone down there so you can see where I'm aiming. Well, she certainly hit the plate. Wrapped the chain right around the top. I think that'll do for there. Now I'll move it out to the next target out at 500 metres. So I've got to wind it up to 3.6. And then back to the left, go 0.1, just to allow for a bit of the spin drift. Okay, shifted the drone out to the target at 500. Now we'll see what we can, got the rifle dialed in, so the wind's dropped off a little bit. So we'll see if we can aim at the plate. I might aim towards the right hand edge of it to allow for a bit of wind. See how we go. Yep, it's a hit. Centre just slightly low. Hit again. Last shot. And hit again. Pretty happy with that. Let's go and have a look. Righto. Here you can see the plate. I was actually aiming over on the edge here, so there's two shots at 280 metres. So I'm pretty happy with that. So yeah, let's go and it's only what one, probably about an inch and a half apart. And so just two shots of that, I think it's not too bad. Could still easily hit a dog at that distance if you want to do a long range shot, or definitely a pig. So yeah, let's go down there and have a look at the next one down there at 500. Right home. Now I'm actually very, very happy with that. There's 1, 2, 3 shots here on this plate, and probably only 1, 2, 3 inch spread. So 3 inch spread at 500 metres is not a bad grouping as far as I'm concerned. I was aiming about here, all those shots, but there's a fair bit of crosswind and all sort of coming in from a bit of an angle. So allowing for a bit of wind, and yeah, they're pushed over onto that side there, right in the sort of dead centre, and yeah, that barely, they dropped a little bit more, some of those too. So I think that was my first shot there, and I'm not sure which one of those, it's a bit hard to see. But anyway, very happy with that. 3 shots into 500 metres onto probably about a 12 inch plate. There's my foot. I call it a 12 inch plate. Probably more like 11. I haven't put a tape on it. Just a piece of steel I found at the shed. So yeah, very happy with that. Okay, so I just want to wrap up with my final thoughts on the Tauron Gen 2 ED, the 5 to 40 by 56 long range scope from Vector Optics. Now, this was sent to me by Vector Optics, so thanks for sending it over for the review. It is a really, really simple scope to use. I'd never actually used MRAD scopes before, but they certainly make a lot of sense, especially because everything else here in Australia is metric. I've really only ever used MOA scopes, but I've actually really been enjoying using this one. Now, a couple of cons with it. It is a reasonably heavy scope, but if you're shooting long range, it's probably not going to be a big issue because you're generally not lugging the rifle around too much. This rifle itself is pretty heavy, so, but with the zoom, it's got 40 times zoom, but one thing I said earlier is your eye relief is pretty hard to get in the right spot. It zoomed right in, but from sort of anywhere from about 25 times onwards to 40, it's sort of a bit hard. It is usable, but just to get it up, to get right onto target or something, you have to get your eye in exactly the right spot. But that's sort of to be expected, because that is 40 times is a lot of magnification. So, but it is really useful to have it on there. So when you zoomed right in, so I could see the plate so clear at 500 meters, just having it zoomed right in at 40, and was able to get a 3-inch group at 500 meters, which I'm pretty happy with that. I have never done long range shooting. I'm not a long range shooter. I don't profess to be a long range shooter, but this scope actually made it really easy to have those shots. I do really like the zoom ring on it. It's really nice and smooth, and just it's not too hard to change. I like that they include a little throw lever as well if you want to put that on it. It has got the illuminated reticle, which I haven't really used because obviously I don't really use glass scopes at night, but in the dusk I generally use the thermal scope. So this one here, it has got that feature. Then it's got your side parallax adjustment, which is a must-have for these sort of scopes, and it has got a 0-stop function on it as well, and the locking turret cap, so you can just push them down to lock them so they don't get bumped when you're out in the field. So if you want to go out, shoot some deer or something from long range, and you're not going to get it running through the bush, it's not going to get the turrets bumped. So really nice clear picture on it, and yeah, overall I'm actually really happy with the performance of it. For to be able to shoot 3-inch group at nearly at the centre of a plate at 500 meters first go, I'm pretty happy with that. So anyway, I'll leave some links in the description below if you want to go and check them out. This is the Vector Optics Tauron Gen 2, the ED. So it's a 5 to 40 by 56. So anyway, go and check them out. And this is their single piece 20 MOA rings as well. So yeah, very happy with the performance of it. So go and check out the links below. Thanks again, Vector Optics, for sending it out. And if you did like the video, make sure you give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and I'll catch you on the next video.